Good evening, and let me tell you something that may completely change the way you think about water, sleep, and what is really happening in your body at night. If you are waking up 2, 3, even 4 times just to rush to the bathroom, you may have been telling yourself the same thing millions of people tell themselves every single night. This is just aging. This is normal now. This is something I have to live with. But tonight, I want to tell you very clearly that in many cases, that is not true. Because for a large number of adults over 60, the problem is not simply how much water they drink. It is when they drink it. And that one mistake may be quietly disrupting their sleep, draining their energy, increasing their nighttime risk, and making them feel older than they really are. My name is Dr. Owen Sterling, and as a urologist, I want to walk you through something that most people never hear explained properly. There is a right time to hydrate. There is a wrong time to hydrate. And if you get that timing wrong, your bladder may be doing exactly what you trained it to do, even if that training happened by accident. Tonight, I'm going to share a simple step-by-step approach to water timing that can help reduce nighttime bathroom trips, calm your bladder before bed, and help you sleep more deeply and more consistently. And I strongly encourage you to stay with me until the very end, because the number one tip in this message is often the one people overlook the most, even though it may make the biggest difference of all. Now let me ask you something honestly. Do you stop drinking late in the evening and still wake up at night? Do you feel thirsty after dinner and end up sipping little amounts right up until bed? Do you use the bathroom before sleep and still wake up an hour or two later feeling like your bladder is suddenly full again? If that sounds familiar, you are not alone, and more importantly, you are not imagining it. Broken sleep from nighttime urination can wear you down in ways people do not always talk about. It leaves you tired in the morning, foggy in the afternoon, less steady on your feet, less patient, less motivated. And over time, it can make you feel like your body is working against you. But in many cases, what your body really needs is not less water. It needs better timing. So let's go through this in a simple countdown, from helpful to potentially life-changing. Number 5. Stop making your evening your catch-up hydration window. This is one of the most common habits I see. People get busy during the day. They forget to drink in the morning. They have a little coffee here, a little tea there, but not enough true hydration. Then evening arrives, they realize they have barely had water, and suddenly they start trying to make up for it after dinner. That is a major problem. Because your body is not just processing what you drink. Your body is processing when you drink it. When you load up on fluids in the evening, your kidneys and bladder are being asked to handle extra work during the exact hours when your body is trying to wind down for rest. That means your sleep pays the price. If you tend to drink most of your water after 5 or 6 in the evening, that pattern alone may be one of the biggest reasons you are waking up at night. For many people, a much better goal is this. Stop treating the evening like your hydration recovery period. Evening should be your tapering period, not your loading period. That one shift in mindset can change everything. Number 4. Front load your water earlier in the day. This is where things start getting powerful. If you want fewer bathroom trips at night, one of the smartest things you can do is make the first half of your day your main hydration window. In simple words, drink more earlier and less later. That means giving your body the water it needs when you are upright, active, and able to process fluids more efficiently. Morning and early afternoon are usually your best opportunities. And yet many adults do the opposite. They underdrink all morning, stay mildly dehydrated through midday, and then begin drinking more and more as the day goes on. That late-day pattern often backfires. A better approach is to begin hydrating earlier, steadily, and more intentionally. A glass of water not long after waking, more water through the morning, moderate hydration around lunch, then a gradual slowdown as the afternoon turns into evening. This does 2 important things. First, it gives your body what it needs without forcing your bladder to work overtime overnight. Second, it helps reduce that evening thirst that causes so many people to keep sipping right up until bedtime. If you hydrate well earlier, Your nights often become quieter later. Number 3. The healthy water habit that may be hurting your sleep. Now this one surprises people, because they think they are being disciplined. They keep a water bottle beside them all evening. They take small sips while watching television. They sip while reading. They sip while lying in bed. They even take a few more sips because they think, it's only a little. But those little sips add up. And more importantly, they keep sending fluid into a system that is not fully settled for the night. This is especially important because nighttime bathroom trips are not always triggered by one giant glass of water. Sometimes they are triggered by repeated small amounts over several hours. That steady trickle can be enough to keep the bladder active later into the night. So if you are truly trying to reduce nighttime trips, one of the most helpful things you can do is stop turning bedtime into a sipping routine. There needs to be a point in the evening where your fluid intake begins to quiet down. That does not mean you need to make yourself miserable. It does not mean you should ignore extreme thirst. It simply means you stop casually drinking out of habit. In many homes, the bedtime water bottle has become a comfort object. But for some people, it is also a sleep disruptor. Number 2. Create a real cutoff time and make it earlier than you think. This is where people often say, "But doctor, I already stopped drinking at night." And then when I ask what that means, they tell me they stop at 8:30 or 9 o'clock. For many people, that is still too late. If you are going to bed at 10 o'clock or 10:30, your body may still be actively processing that fluid during the first part of the night. And that is exactly when so many people experience their first bathroom wake-up. A better strategy is to create a real fluid cutoff time earlier in the evening. Not a rough idea. Not, "I'll try," a real boundary. For many people, that may be somewhere around 2 to 3 hours before bed, depending on their routine, health status, medications, and what their doctor has advised. The key is consistency. Your bladder responds to patterns. Your body responds to patterns. And when your fluid timing becomes more predictable, your nighttime output often becomes more predictable too. This is where many people start seeing a difference. Because once the body is no longer being asked to process extra evening fluid, the bladder finally has a chance to settle. And now, number 1. The best time to drink water if you want fewer nighttime bathroom trips. The best time is earlier than most people think. It is the first half of the day, especially the morning. That is the window most people underuse, and it may be the most important hydration window you have. When you drink water earlier in the day, your body has more time to use it, circulate it, and eliminate what it does not need before bedtime. Your kidneys have more waking hours to do their job. Your bladder is less likely to be burdened late at night. And your chances of getting trapped in that exhausting cycle of evening thirst followed by nighttime urgency become much lower. This is the mistake so many people make. They think the solution is simply drink less. But very often, the smarter solution is drink earlier. That is the shift. Not dehydration, better timing. Not fear of water, smarter use of water. And that one shift can feel incredibly freeing once people understand it. Now, I want to add something very important here. If you are waking up frequently at night, water timing may be a big part of the picture, but it is not always the only part. There can also be bladder irritation, medications, swelling in the legs, sleep issues, prostate enlargement, overactive bladder, diabetes, or other medical causes that need proper evaluation. So please hear me clearly. If nighttime urination is frequent, new, worsening, painful, or associated with other symptoms, speak with your doctor. Do not ignore what your body is trying to tell you. But if your main issue is poor fluid timing, then this is where hope begins. Because timing is something you can change. Tonight. Not next month. Not after buying a gadget. Not after starting some complicated routine. Tonight. So let me give you a simple way to think about it. Drink with purpose in the morning. Drink steadily through the early part of the day. Ease off as evening approaches. Stop the casual sipping at night, and give your bladder a real chance to rest before you ask your body to sleep. That is simple. That is practical. And for many people, that is powerful. I also want to speak directly to the person listening right now who feels exhausted, frustrated, and a little discouraged. Maybe you dread going to bed because you already know what the night will bring. Maybe your sleep is so broken that mornings no longer feel refreshing. Maybe you have started planning your evenings around bathroom access. Maybe you have even convinced yourself this is just what getting older feels like. Please do not give up too quickly. Your body may not be failing you. Your body may simply be following the rhythm you have unintentionally given it. And rhythms can be retrained. Patterns can be changed. Sleep can improve. That matters because sleep is not a luxury. Sleep is repair. Sleep is recovery. Sleep is balance. Sleep is brain function. Sleep is emotional stability. Sleep is physical safety. And when you sleep better, so many other parts of life begin to improve with it. You feel steadier. You think more clearly. You move with more confidence. You have more patience. More energy. More life. Before we finish, if this message is helping you, I want to ask you to take one moment and subscribe to the channel, because I share content like this to help people protect something deeply important, their quality of life. And if you know someone who is waking up night after night to use the bathroom and assuming nothing can be done, please share this with them. Now let me quickly summarize the core message. Do not save most of your water for the evening. Hydrate earlier in the day. Avoid turning nighttime into a sipping routine. Create a consistent fluid cutoff before bed. And remember the key idea above all. The best time to drink more of your water is not late at night. It is earlier in the day, when your body has time to handle it properly. I'm Dr. Owen Sterling, and if this message gave you even a little hope tonight, then hold on to that, because small changes in timing can create meaningful changes in sleep. And better sleep can change far more than your night. It can change your days. It can change your energy. It can change your confidence. And in many ways, it can change your life. Sleep well tonight. You deserve that.